So now we've seen all of the three modules that are introduced in the new software, which is the Connect. We've seen the data mapper, we've seen the designer, and we've seen the output creation. Now it's time to put them all together into the automation tool. Now the Connect automation module is actually, for the time being, a PlanetPress workflow that's been added onto the Connect software. Now, just to remind you, the automation is only available for PlanetPress Connect and Press Connect. It's not available for Print Shop Mail clients. And the automation is done through PlanetPress Workflow, and it has all of the tools and all of the tasks that PlanetPress clients are used to have. So we have the whole set of tools that is familiar to our PlanetPress clients and that are going to be probably easy to learn for the Press clientele. So let's take a look at how we use the files that we've seen or created in the previous animations and make them all work magically in PlanetPress Workflow. So here we have the first simple process, and what this process does is it will generate the print output using the OL Sporting Goods transactional invoice that we've seen in the designer. In order to do this, we use a couple of pre-existing PlanetPress workflow tasks as well as the new Connect tasks. Now, it's pretty important to be comfortable with the new Connect tasks because you're going to see them very often. There's not a whole lot of them, as you can see here in the new category, and this is all the new tasks that are there. But luckily, all of these tasks are actually pretty simple to use, as you're going to see in a few moments. So let's dive into this process and take a look at what it does. So I'm not going to explain what the WinQ input does because you should already be comfortable with it. However, I am going to explain why we're using it. The reason for it is that our invoice, the input or the data source for the data mapping configuration that we've created, as we know, is a PDF. How did we get it? Well, where it comes from originally is from an ERP system that we no longer have control over the output. All it does is it outputs to a printer queue in the format that it's been programmed into, and that's it. It doesn't do anything else. So what we're going to do is we're going to intercept that print job, convert it to PDF using the WinQ input that we're already used to, and it's going to output what we need. The second task is the create record set. Now, I promised that it would be easy. As you can see, I deliver. The only two options that are really useful here, that are really important, is A, selecting what data mapping configuration you're going to use. And in this case, it's the one we created that reads the PDF and outputs the UDM, and which data source file to use or to run inside of that configuration. So this task will basically execute one on the other and will output all of the record sets, so all of the invoices for our clients in the UDM format. The next task that we're going to do is to create the content. And the create print content, again, is a very simple task, and the only thing you really need to put in here is what template file to use. And again, this is the template that we created in the designer. So the one that takes the UDM created by the data mapping configuration and creates the all new, brand new, pretty print invoice. Now, create print content is one of the three content creation tasks. As you can see on the right in the plugin bar, we can create HTML content, we create print content, or we create the email content. And the create content task that you choose is the one that's going to select which context to use. So here we have the invoice, and as we know, the invoice has the print and the email context. Because we're using print content here, it's going to use the print context. It's pretty straightforward. It's a one-on-one relationship. It's going to be easy. So what does this task output? Well, it's pretty obvious. It outputs print content. Now, what's the print content? It's actually a series of content item, and each content item is basically an invoice that uses the new template. It's not in any specific shape or form, in the sense that it's not PostScript and it's not PCL. It's just a content item. It's kind of free floating. Now, once we have all of the print content that we want, what we need to do is to tell those content items that they're ready to print. And to do that, we use create job. Now, create job doesn't actually have any configuration. The tab that you see here with the Connect proxy, you don't need to worry about for the time being. It's actually a tab that's common to all the tasks, but it's not something that we use for the moment. All you need to know is create job takes all of the content items and prepares them for print output. That's all you need to do. And speaking of output, the next task is create output. Now, this is where the third file that we've created, the print preset, comes into play. So the print preset, as we know, contains all of the settings for the printer, the imposition, cut and stack, everything. In this specific case, what I'm doing is I'm actually creating a PDF file in high quality just to show how it works. I'm doing this basically because I can't show you a printed invoice. So instead, we're outputting the PDF into a local folder, and this is what we get. So as you can see, the PDF that's generated here is equivalent to all of the previews that we've seen when we were creating this file in the designer. And that's it for the first simple process. Now again, familiarize yourself with these 4 tasks. Play with them because you do have this configuration and you can take a look at it and play with it and test it. And then once you're familiar with it, it'll be a lot easier to explain to clients that are going to use PlanetPress and Press Connect.